in honor of our national anthem, Negaraku, and Sarawak's anthem, Ibu Pertiwiku. Please be seated, and thank you. Right Honourable Datuk PATINGGI, Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari Bintun Datuk Abang Haji OPENG, Chief Minister of Sarawak. Honourable Datuk Amar Michael Manin Jawong, Minister for Education, Science and Technological Research, Sarawak. Honourable Datuk Sri Prof. Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Minister for Local Government and Housing. Honourable Dr. Anwar Rapai, Assistant Minister for Education, Science and Technological Research. Yang Arif, Datuk Talat Mahmud, State Attorney General. Dr. Peter Morinism, General Manager of Sarawak Research and Development Council. Yang berbahagia Datuk-Datuk, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning, Salam Sarawakku Sayang, and welcome one and all to this two-in-one event, the launching of the Sarawak Research and Development Council, and also the launch of the Sarawak Infectious Disease Centre's operations on this memorable day, the 26th of July, 2021. It is indeed a pleasure and blessing for all of us to be a part of another momentous occasion for Sarawak, and we thank the Almighty for bringing us together today, and would like to begin by inviting all guests to join as we unite in prayers in true spirit of Sarawak's unity. To lead the Doa recitation for today, we call upon Yang Mulia Ustaz Haji Muhammad Ihsan bin Haji Haizir.
يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك الكريم وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم يا Allah, the most gracious and the most benevolent, on this glorious day and with the greatest of gratitude, we raise our hands seeking your blessings upon this official launching of Sarawak Research and Development Council and Sarawak Infectious Disease Center by the Right Honorable Datuk PATINGGI Dr. Abang Haji Abdul ZOHARI bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji OPENG, Chief Minister of Sarawak. Allahumma ya Allah ya Fattah ya Alim ya Allah, let this occasion be a part of our continuous efforts in doing good deeds and virtues. Please grace this occasion with your blessings and mercy. May we achieve all its noble aims and objectives. Render us the strength, diligence, and patience so that we can work together in building our nation towards a new height of advancement, progress, and excellence. With all the useful knowledge, valuable experience, and precious outcomes that we may gain from this occasion, please grant upon us the strength to benefit thereof, Ya Allah, for the enhancement of our community and nation. Allahumma ya Allah ya Dhal Jalali wal Ikram, please safeguard our good relationship, mutual respects, and interactive solidarity. Please fill our hearts with the earnest of sincerity and passion. Guide us to the correct path. Provide us with thou light as against darkness, and keep us away from evils, whether they are deliberate and visible or otherwise. Please keep us clear from dangers and adversities, disasters and calamities, from all sources and causes that could jeopardize us, our communities, and our state and our nation. With your all-embracing mercy and protection, Ya Allah, please bless Sarawak and Malaysia with peace, progress, and glory forever. Allahumma bika nasta'in wa alayka natawakkal wa anta rabbul arshil azim. Irhamna ya Rabbana fa innaka anta arhamur rahimin. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala khairi khalqihi sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you, Yang Mulia Ustaz Haji Muhammad Ihsan. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are indeed honored to have the presence of the Right Honorable Chief Minister of Sarawak to grace this function. And we are also looking forward to messages that have come from other parts of the world as we embark on partnerships that will enhance the work of the Sarawak Research and Development Council, as well as the Sarawak Infectious Disease Center. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we hear from our Honourable Minister and also the Right Honourable Chief Minister, we will first present a short video as an introduction to the Sarawak Research and Development Council and today's event.
SRDC was established to support the research and development sector, coordinate research for the government and educational institution, to enhance standards on research outcomes, a healthy, sustainable and competitive R&D ecosystem for Sarawak. Specializing in bioindustry and biomedical science, food and agriculture, biodiversity and environment, engineering, science and technology. Integrate and coordinate research agenda of different agencies. to transform Sarawak into a knowledge-intensive, innovative and robust economy. This is Sarawak Research and Development Council. The Sarawak Infectious Disease Centre is to equip Sarawak to detect, to protect and to effectively respond to infectious disease outbreaks. The centre will combine efforts with adequate resources from the government, private sectors, communities and active participation from Sarawakians. The centre aims to carry out extensive, fundamental and applied research on clinically important emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases to improve outbreak preparedness in Sarawak, working hand in hand with collaborative partners to achieve its goals. Sarawak Infectious Disease Centre.
My name is Chris Lowe. I'm Professor Emeritus of Biotechnology at the University of Cambridge and currently Director of the Cambridge Academy of Therapeutic Sciences, CATS for short, which was developed about 4 years ago to promote translation of therapeutic principles within the university environment. It gives me enormous pleasure to say, to encourage the soft launch of the Sarawak Infectious Disease Centre, which comes under the remit of the Sarawak Research and Development Council. The University of Cambridge, via CATS, already has a cooperation agreement to capacity build in science and research with Sarawak. And we see this as being very important for the development of the new centre in Sarawak. Cambridge has a virtual centre for infectious diseases involving almost 300 researchers from the university and affiliated institutes. And it's designed to develop innovative solutions for intractable infectious diseases and support evidence for associated policy issues. Where we may have a joint or could have a joint agreement and research activity is research based on pathogen biology and evolution, host-pathogen interactions, drugs, new drugs and vaccines, for example, epidemiology and mathematical modeling using machine learning technologies, and new technology for rapid diagnostics, both serological testing with lateral flow devices and PCR-based systems, and also, of course, antimicrobial resistance, of which there is a fair amount of activity within the university. So we look forward very much to increasing our collaborative link with Cambridge and Sarawak, and we wish you all the best in setting up your new centre in Sarawak.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, an introduction to the Sarawak Research and Development Council and the Sarawak Infectious Diseases Centre. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we now invite the Honourable Dato' Ahmad Michael Manyin Jawong, Minister for Education, Science and Technological Research of Sarawak, to address us with his welcoming speech. Dato' Ahmad.
Terima kasih, Tuan MC. A very good morning and welcome to this event this morning. Yang amat berhormat, Datuk Petinggi Dr. Abang Zohari bin Tun Abang Haji OPENG, our Chief Minister, who is also the Chairman of the Sarawak Research and Development Council, Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Dr. Sim Hui Hiang, Minister for Public Health and Housing, Yang Muhammad Dr. Anwar bin Rafi'i, Assistant Minister for Education, Science and Technological Research, who is also the Assistant Minister for Housing and Public Health. Yang berbahagia Datuk Salat Muhammad Mahmud bin Abdul Rashid, our SAG, Dr. Peter Morinism, who is the General Manager for Sarawak Research and Development Council, Yang Muhammad, Datuk-Datuk, Dep-Dep Kemaan, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian. On behalf of my ministry and also the Sarawak Research Council, Development Councils, I wish to welcome everyone to this morning event, which is a significant milestone in the R&D agenda for Sarawak. This morning, we will witness the simultaneous launching of the Office of the Sarawak Research and Development Council and the Sarawak Infectious Disease Center by the Right Honorable Chief Minister of Sarawak. Allow me to give a brief history of the establishment of the Sarawak Research and Development Councils. My ministry was established on the 7th of May, 2017. And I was appointed as the minister in charge. And immediately, a few months after that, after realizing that we have a lot of agencies conducting researchers throughout Sarawak, but each and every one of them is working in silo. So resulting from that, Yang Muhammad Dr. Inshallah, Dr. Anwar and myself were directed by Yang Ahmad Muhammad, the Ketua Menteri, to look at the possibility of setting up the Sarawak Research and Development Councils. Because each and every one of them, the researchers, were working in silo. There was no coordination, so we were directed by YAB to look into the possibility of setting up these research and development councils, and we were quite hard on it. Our PS that time was Datuk Sudasono, and Alhamdulillah, we managed to set up Yang Ahmad Muhammad, and here we are. So the idea was actually mooted in 2017. So there's a need for a coordinating body to manage and offer funds for research and development initiative and to support all human capital development in various research centers. So today, Sarawak Research and Development Council actually is the coordinator and collaborating with all the agencies which are conducting researchers throughout Sarawak. So the passing of the Sarawak Research and Development Council Bill in 2017 at the second section of the 18th June sitting in November 2017 and a subsequent setting up of the office in 2019 marks definitely significant milestone for Sarawak Research and Development Council. Ladies and gentlemen, research underpins progress, which derives economic growth and prosperity to a state or nation. The Sarawak Research and Development Council was set up to enable effective coordination of all research activities, facilitate and attract meaningful collaborations between local and international research institutions, and enhance research and development that will contribute to the Socio-Economic Development Council. It's just like Professor Crislow. Actually, we have gone twice to Cambridge and have a discussion with the few professors, including Professor Crislow. And he has actually come to us. And we have a formal MOA with Cambridge. Of course, it costs a lot of money. I think it's about 6 million, sir, but I think it's worth. So that is a formal agreement with Cambridge. So from the perspective of research and development activities, Sarawak will be focusing on biomedical, health sciences, and sustainable use of our rich biodiversity for therapeutic, nutrients, and diagnostics. It is envisaged that the synergy between biomedical health industry and biodiversity will propel Sarawak into a world-class research and development hub and boost Sarawak energy. SRDC, I don't know whether we should change the name, Peter, because SRDC can be also referred to Cebu Rural District Councils. SRDC is also working closely with Ministry of Education, Science and Technological Research, that's my ministry, the Sarawak State Education Department, Sarawak Science Center on awareness program in STEM to inculcate spirit of research and innovation in school children and promote STEM interest in the community. Epidemiology, but also to provide springboard for local and foreign biomedical and biotechnology related companies to develop world-class products and services right here in Sarawak. So that's why people said when there are a lot of dangers, a lot of problems, that problems and dangers actually create opportunities. So this is an opportunity. So Dr. Sim, you have been working very hard, otherwise you know what it is. So we look forward to a vibrant, aggressive, and productive research and development ecosystem in Sarawak in the years to come. So once again, on behalf of my ministry and also the Sarawak Research Development Councils, and all those who are in my steering committees, I wish once again to say thank you very much for coming to witness the launching, the soft launching of this Sarawak Research, Sarawak Infectious Disease Center. Ladies and gentlemen, as a minister in charge, sometimes I got direct letter, direct SMS, telling me all these years, the past 2 years especially, that we are actually producing hot A's. The first hot A's, they said, is the design center. I don't know what is the design center. What they refer here, design center, is the science center. And the second one is the 5 international schools. And the third one is this Sarawak Infectious Disease. So probably the third one is Dr. Yo. That will be the fourth one that we call as YBCM will elaborate on that later on. So then putting up all these as hot A's. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's no longer hot A, it's reality. All these are already on the ground. And we are actually very worried. Actually, I'm very nervous with regard to this Sarawak infectious disease because last year, YABCM announced in UITM must get it ready by the year 2024. So I told my men, please work backward and make sure that you get it ready by the year 2024, operational. So it's no more hot air. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad Michael, for that very inspirational message. And while we wait for our technicians to do a little turnover of the microphone, thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed to the highlight of the event for today. And for that, we call upon the Honorable Dr. Ahmad Michael Manin to invite the Right Honorable Dr. PATINGGI, Dr. ABANG HAJI ABDUL RAHMAN ZOHARI bin Tun, Dr. ABANG HAJI OPENG, our Chief Minister, to address us with a speech, and thereafter witness exchanges of memoranda of understanding.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Salam sejahtera dan seterusnya salam Sarawakku sayang. Yang berhormat Saudara Datuk Ahmad Michael Manin, Anak Jaung, Menteri Pendidikan, Sains dan Penyelidikan Sarawak, yang juga ahli Sarawak Research Development Council, yang berhormat Saudara Profesor Datuk Seri Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Minister of Local Government and Housing, yang berhormat Dr. Anwar Rafai, Assistant Minister for Education, Science and Technological Research, khususnya General Manager of our Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Pertama kali saya mengucap terima kasih di atas jemputan untuk melancarkan Sarawak Research and Development Council serta Sarawak Infectious Disease Center pada pagi ini. Dan saya berharap bahawa dengan adanya penyidikan yang kita buat di negeri Sarawak, kita dapat menambah nilai kepada aset kita yang ada dan seterusnya dapat membangunkan budaya sebagai penyelidik di negeri Sarawak. Saudara dan saudara sekalian, we know very well that in developed countries, they spend about 3 to 5% of their GDP on research and development to unlock the value-added potential of their resources. Innovation through research and development is the hallmark of a successful economy, and the Ministry of Education and Technological Research was formed to spearhead the technical research initiative in Sarawak. The post-COVID-19 development strategy, or PCDS, which I launched on 22nd of July, includes innovation as one of the 7 enablers in the state government firm commitment towards innovation as key towards driving Sarawak economic growth towards the year 2030 and beyond. Leveraging on Sarawak's natural resources, innovation will focus on developing R&D capabilities and commercial application aligned to biotechnology, digital application, and renewable energy. Today, 26 July, is a very significant day for research and development in biomedical sciences in Sarawak, with our soft launching of the Sarawak Infectious Diseases Center, SIDC. It is a new center for research excellence and the flagship of Sarawak's international and national collaboration on biosciences. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic over these 2 years and the challenges it brought has taught us of the need to be prepared for future outbreaks. Sarawak was not spared from the significant health and economic impact of COVID-19. The pandemic highlighted significant gaps in one, outbreak preparedness, prediction, detection and response. There's a gap there. Number 2, self-sufficiency, that is the capability and capacity to combat an outbreak. 3, economic resiliency to withstand outbreak. Therefore, I feel there is an urgent need for Sarawak to address these gaps. And one such initiative by the Sarawak government is through the establishment of Sarawak Infectious Disease Center, SIDC. This initiative is timely as we need to begin to develop our own capabilities and expertise. Sarawak is unique, located on the island of Borneo. There are many challenges which have become apparent in the past 2 years, especially with regards to obtaining medical supplies, such as PPE and of course vaccines. We have to work very hard and we have to convince the federal government that the only answer to counter this pandemic is vaccination. Though there are serious efforts to have MCO, but I feel MCO is just a temporary measure. You have to enhance your antibodies, and that is the answer to combat this pandemic. I am confident that the establishment of the SIDC will catalyze the development of biomedical industries in Sarawak. The SIDC was approved by our cabinet in February this year and is a research facility under the purview of the Sarawak Research and Development Council, SRDC. The center's goals are to protect Sarawak by improving research in infectious disease, equip Sarawak with the capability and capacity to test medication, vaccine, and equipment against infectious agents, and enable Sarawak to detect, diagnose, and predict potential infectious disease outbreak. It will also complement and collaborate with the Ministry of Health in tackling infectious diseases in Sarawak. The center will be equipped with biosafety level 3, as mentioned by the Minister. That is the biosafety level 3 laboratories to allow research and development on BSL-3 infectious application, such as infectious agent and subsequently product testing to ensure commercialization of R&D output. It will also provide opportunities for Sarawakians to serve Sarawak and drive human capital development in biomedical sciences. The research facilities are available. We bring together talents regionally and internationally and attract global biomedical companies to ensure Sarawak is prepared for future challenges. The center will focus on two core themes. A, developing the capacity and knowledge to respond to future pandemics and emerging threats through human capital development and impactful research. B, translating biomedical research into applications such as diagnostic tools, vaccine treatments, and of course, vaccine itself. The launching of the center is our commitment to contribute to handling the COVID-19 situation in Sarawak through targeted research. In that respect, SRDC research funding will be going towards targeted and focused research and geared towards encouraging development of our own biotherapeutics from our vast natural resources and biodiversity, and complement activities soon to be carried out at SIDC. Our immediate project, this is the first one, to be undertaken by the SIDC is a longitudinal serology study on vaccinated individuals in Sarawak. This study will monitor the specific neutralizing antibodies against COVID-19 over a 2-year period. Such information is not only important for us to determine the efficacy of current vaccination program, but allow us to make informed decisions on the need for booster doses and type of vaccine to be given. This initiative may also lead to potential spin-off in the development of diagnostic kits and antibody drugs against COVID-19. This is a collaboration between SIDC and IHCM and of course UNIMAS. In addition, as I mentioned in my Sarawak Day speech, SRDC has initiated Memorandum of Understanding with Australian National Phenomenon Centre, Perth, National Centre for Infectious Diseases Singapore, Amily Private Limited, Singapore, of course, Cambridge Park, UNIMAS, Swinburne Sarawak, to collaborate in the areas of biomedical sciences and human capital development. This will add to our current existing list of collaborators, including Cambridge Academy of Therapeutic Sciences, University of Cambridge. Ladies and gentlemen, the simultaneous launching today of SRDC and SIDC officers will pave the way to research excellence in Sarawak, leading to a vibrant bioeconomy, capitalizing on our diverse cultures and natural resources. The ICDC mission is to ensure that Sarawak is better equipped to create global and equitable science-driven solutions to prepare for, identify, and counter future pandemic threats. We are looking forward to the support of all Sarawakians, the relevant agencies and ministries, both at state and federal level, and the research community in our endeavors to fulfill this mission. With that hope, I have pleasure to launch, soft launch of this Sarawak Research Development Council and Sarawak Infectious Disease Center. The home of this center will be near Institute Jantung. The government has set aside 200 million for us to build internationally credited research center in Sarawak. And I was with Carrie the other day, and also Dr. Jamila, Tan Sri Dr. Jamila. This one could be one of the important research centers in Malaysia, and we hope the scientists will do their part. With that, once again, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Datuk PATINGGI. I would like to invite you to have a seat as we witness video messages from representatives from parties to MOUs that have been signed. Now, these are collaborators who are not able to travel because of the current pandemic, and they have recorded some short messages bearing their aspirations for this partnership. Let us now hear what they have to say. The first MOU is with MENTERI Private Limited, which is Singapore's first and only precision gut microbiome company and the largest microbiome reference library in Southeast Asia. Now, this MOU provides Sarawak, through the Sarawak Research and Development Council, a framework to collaborate in the areas of gut health R&D and enhancement of human capital through knowledge and technology transfer in Sarawak. So let us now hear from Associate Professor Jeremy Lim, who's the CEO and co-founder of MENTERI Private Limited.
The Right Honourable Datuk PATINGGI Dr. ABANG HAJI ABDUL Rahman ZOHARI bin Tun Datuk ABANG HAJI OPENG. Ladies and gentlemen, we as MENTERI, Southeast Asia's first precision gut microbiome company, are delighted to be part of this important strategic partnership with the Sarawak government. Sarawak has many good scientists, and there are many interesting aspects to health, in particular gut health in Sarawak. There are many traditional foods, many interesting areas of exploration, and we look forward, for us as MENTERI, a group of clinicians, doctors, and scientists, we are delighted to be part of this collaboration to further the science and bring the benefits of microbiome to all of us in Singapore as well as Malaysia. Thank you very much for allowing us to be part of this.
There you have it. The second MOU is with Cambridge Park. Cambridge Park was founded in 2016 in Cambridge itself to tackle global data science skills shortage. They deliver customer-focused development programs that are built on their proprietary online learning platform, Educate.ai, to clients all over the world, including in London, New York, and Hong Kong. Let us now hear from Dr. Raul Gabriel Urma, founder and CEO of Cambridge Park.
Hey, I'm Raul, the CEO of Cambridge Park. At Cambridge Park, we really believe that data is truly changing how organizations have to operate for the future. And we're therefore really excited to enter a memorandum of understanding with the Sarawak Research and Development Council to explore collaboration and partnership opportunities.
And finally, from the Australian National Phenome Centre, which is led by Professor Jeremy Nicholson, who was unfortunately, due to some technical problems, was not able to send us a video, but I'll give a little bit of introduction. The Australian National Phenome Centre was created in 2019 as a global discovery engine to diagnose and stratify diseases and mitigate their effects through optimization of therapies. Now, the MOU between SRDC and the Australian National Phenome Centre provides the framework to collaborate in areas of precision medicine and human capital development through knowledge and transfer of technology in Sarawak. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we also have 2 exchanges of MOUs that are taking place right here today. So for this, we invite the Right Honourable Datuk Patinggi, Datuk Ahmad Michael Manyin, and distinguished guests from the front row onto the stage to witness the exchange. We would also like to invite Dr. Peter Morinism, the General Manager of the Sarawak Research and Development Council, to the front of the stage for the exchanges. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Memoranda of Understanding exchanged between the Sarawak Research and Development Council and the Institute of Health and Community Medicine, UNIMAS, as well as Swinburne University of Technology, Sarawak, are for R&D collaboration in biomedical science and related fields. These MOUs will also cover human capital development and also transfer of technologies in the areas mentioned. We first invite Professor Datuk Dr. Muhammad Kadim Suhaidi, Vice Chancellor of University Malaysia Sarawak, for the MOU exchange. Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Kadim, and we invite you to take your seat. Next, to exchange their MOU, we have from Swinburne University of Technology, Sarawak, Professor Lau Heng Ho, the Pro Vice Chancellor and Chief Executive Officer of SUTS. Thank you, Prof. Lau and Dr. Peter Morim. We now invite you to take your seat while our VIPs remain on stage. And before we proceed to our next agenda, we'd like to invite the Honourable Datuk Ahmad Michael Manyin to present our Right Honourable Chief Minister with a memento. Ladies and gentlemen, the memento is made up of carefully selected books which are very relevant in light of what we are facing today. It's all about viruses. We have 5 books for the reading pleasure of our Chief Minister, and they are The Atlas of Disease, that's the first book by Sandra Hampel, A Short History of Disease by Sean Martin, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari, A Planet of Viruses by Carl Zimmer, and Viruses, Plagues and History by Michael B.A. Olstone. So we hope you will enjoy reading this book, sir. Right? And thank you once again. We now call upon the Honourable Datuk Ahmad Michael Manyin to escort the Right Honourable Chief Minister to sign a plaque for the Sarawak Research and Development Council and to view storyboards on the Sarawak Research Development Council and the Sarawak Infectious Disease Centre, accompanied by our distinguished guests. Now, this will be followed by a ribbon-cutting ceremony to mark the start of the SIDC operations, where we will also witness the initiation of the Sarawak COVID-19 serology study. Ladies and gentlemen, as space is rather constrained, we will only be able to allow a limited number to accompany our Right Honourable Chief Minister. You will be able to view what goes on the other side of the building on the live feed on the screen. So true to Sarawakian hospitality, we of course will not allow you to go back empty-handed and have provided you with memento bags with some souvenirs and some refreshments. So to all who have made their presence here today, thank you for being a part of this historic ceremony. And let us accord another round of applause to the Right Honourable Chief Minister of Sarawak. Again, thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay safe. And kita jaga kita. You may stay to watch the live feed of the ribbon cutting ceremony and the initiation of the serology study. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, we seek your cooperation to avoid posting any photos on social media. As you know how on social media, information as innocent and as valid as it is can get misconstrued. So please do avoid sharing on social media. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we invite the Right Honourable Chief Minister of Sarawak to cut the ribbon to signify the start of the SIDC operations. We now invite the Right Honourable Chief Minister to sign the SIDC plaque. This will be followed by the presentation on rabies data by UNIMAS, prediction on COVID-19 model by Swinburne University, and metabolic study for COVID-19
the UNIMAS
by
team.
Dr. Ivan
This is
Yap.
one of the first projects sponsored by the SRDC on the rabies project. So Ms. Aminah here will be giving us a briefing on the findings.
So UNIMAS has been in charge, one of the funders from SRDC. So UNIMAS is in charge of developing a real-time RT-PCR assay for rabies detection. So since the outbreak started, since 2017, so we've been developing the real-time assay. So to develop this is we designed, we optimize, and we validate the real-time PCR parameters and everything. So the result is that real-time RT-PCR is faster as compared to DFAT, for example, and in which this assay real-time, it gives us 1 hour and 45 minutes. Yes, and from the assay itself, it has an accurate detection in which it gives out 95% specificity and also 100% sensitivity. And as compared, and the next one is, it's a very superior performance in which we've been comparing our real-time result together with the FAT as well. And throughout all of this performance of the assay itself, it is a very impactful assay in which it is very impactful through technology transfer. So in which we provide training and protocol sharing to the hospitals and to the veterinary laboratories, in which it is very helpful for human diagnostics and also for animal diagnostics for rabies. And we would like to acknowledge SRDC for funding the project and also for our sample contributors. So we received samples from SVDL, Sarawak Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory, and also from SGH and also from the Cebu hospitals for our animal. Yeah. Thank you.
Next, we have Professor Wallace from Swinburne University, who will be showing us the COVID-19 prediction model.
Thank you, Ivan. Datuk Patinggi, Datuk Amah, Datuk Sri, Datuk Noor. This is something that we started actually just a month ago. Of course, we have the data analytics skill before. When Dr. Peter approached us to work on the prediction model for COVID-19, we jumped right in, and this is what we got. I want to show you the result that we have today. This is generally what the data show us. This is the infection, and this is the death. This is the number of deaths, and this is only from December to May. And we scrapped this data from SDMC website. Actually, this is nothing. We don't have the complete data, but it's sufficient for us to show a lot of insights we are going to share with you today. So this is generally the dashboard. This is the information that we can get from the SDMC daily press release. This is up to May. Nothing special here. This is just the data that we can see publicly. Now we start with some analysis. We see where the main infection comes from: funeral, wedding, old folks' home, schools, and so on. So we started to analyze. We started to see where they actually happen, and we also look at the big clusters. This is actually Pasai cluster started in Cebu, and we see how it travels across whole of Sarawak. This is Pasai. Yes, this is from Pasai. And we look at the clusters, we look at type of the event. In case of Pasai, it's actually a funeral event. The number of people involved in the event and where it actually spread to. So we look at all this data. And on top of that, we actually extract from Google. This is from Google Location Services. How many people actually stay at their home? How many people actually at the transit station, like airport or bus station? How many people at the park, grocery, and so on? So this is seemingly nothing to do with COVID data. But when you look at the data together, you start to see pattern. And we realize that those who are, if we see on the day a lot more people in the transit station or a lot more people in the park, you will expect to see a rise in the cases in a couple of weeks' time. I mean, common sense tells us that, but this data verify that for us. Now, I'll show you some of our prediction here. This is what happened in January to June. This is confirmed. This is data available. And this is what we predict. Now, Dr. Patinggi, Dr. Sri, good job. We are here today. And based on our prediction, we are supposed to be at around, in this case, about 100,000 cases. But we are only at 73,000 as of yesterday. Yes. By right, well, in our prediction, we thought it would be somewhere here, but we are actually just below the boundary. So we are doing something really good. So we study what has happened before, and we predict the future in the coming 2 months. Of course, the further you go into the future, the more erratic it will be because we don't know what will happen. But good job, we are just below what we have predicted. So the SOP, the no dine-in, the vaccination actually helped to reduce the number of cases.
So you expect after 1st of August?
We expect, well, this because we don't have we haven't input the data from here to here, but once we put in, we can do the
simulation.
Yes, we can do the simulation. But if to yes, predictive, yes. So based on COVID data and on the mobility data that I mentioned just now. So if we are in June today, in the next 2 months, we are supposed to be about 100,000 plus, but we're only at 73. Yes, definitely below that. Now, another thing that we can do is to simulate Pasai in Kuching. Now, this is what happened in Cebu. I know that we don't want that to happen. I know that we don't want that to happen. Pasai is interesting because the number of cases is just so big. So we have 1,300 cases from Pasai. We look at Pasai, we look at the mobility during the Pasai time. We look at at that time, the district travel was allowed. We look at how many population involved. And we take the features, we put it in Kuching. Let's say Pasai happened in Kuching, what will happen? And we realize that Kuching, if it happens, there will be 4,300 cases compared to 1,003 from Pasai. And if we tune the mobility parameter, it can go up to 10,000 cases. So these are the tools that we think is important for the center, for us to predict and then to come up with justification for our actions. Yes, and policy as well. So I hope this will be made integral part of the center. Oh yes, yes, yes.
Because this one is just on COVID, but other diseases, it could be rabies.
Simple thing like food poisoning, you know, yes. Rather than testing every sample of food in the area, we can do statistics, we can do analysis, and we zoom in into particular food or particular section that we think the disease, the poison actually comes from. So, yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Patingggi.
So we have Dr. Richard Teo here. Sorry, Dr. Richard Teo is from the Rehabilitation Medicine at Sarawak General Hospital. So he'll be presenting his work on the evaluation of PanBio COVID-19 antigen rapid test kit.
Very good morning, Dr. Patingggi and our honorable guests. So just allow me a few minutes to explain or present our study on the accuracy of the RTK antigen COVID-19 test kit. So in this study, we were analyzing the accuracy of the PanBio Abbott RTK antigen. In terms of the diagnostic test for COVID-19, there are three broad categories. Firstly, we have the molecular test, which is the PCR test that detects the virus genetic material. Secondly, we have the antigen test, and that detects the virus proteins. And thirdly, we have the serology test that detects the antibody that the immune system produces against COVID-19. So as of today, the PCR is the gold standard reference test to diagnose an acute COVID-19 infection. But there are several limitations. Number one, it is very costly. Number two, it requires a lot of trained laboratory personnel. So in places like Sarawak, in rural parts, it requires very complex logistic systems just to send the samples from the interior to the labs located in the city center, and this will lead to considerable delay. So any delay more than 4 hours for reporting of result from the time of testing, if it's more than 24 hours, it will lead to delay in public health interventions, and we may lose the chance to actually stop the chain of transmission. So that's why manufacturers around the world, they have developed the RTK antigen to try to solve some of these issues. But in today's market, there are so many different brands, and with different qualities in between each brand. So it's very important that in Sarawak, before we use any test kits, we evaluate based on our local population to first understand the performance and the characteristics of the test kits. So since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have done numerous evaluation studies, and this is just one of it. This is about the PanBio Abbott COVID-19 test kit, and based on the summary of results, we see that the RTK antigen PanBio Abbott brand is actually suitable based on the level of accuracy to be used to detect COVID-19 cases in places of high disease prevalence. But when we look at closer at the results in tables 2 and 3, it shows that for patients with very low viral load, actually PCR is still superior to RTK antigen. And that's why in our practice today, if we have a patient who is symptomatic and they have a close contact with a COVID-19 patient, but the RTK antigen is negative, we will still perform a PCR. That's our study. Thank you.
Distinguished guests.
Thank you.
Okay, distinguished guests, we will witness the initiation of the Sarawak COVID-19 serology study. We would like to invite Honorable Dr. Anwar Rapai, who has volunteered for his blood sample taken for the study.
So this is the initiation of the serology studies for us to actually establish the antibody levels of vaccinated individuals in Sarawak. Our first volunteer is actually YB Dr. Anwar himself. So we will start. It's okay. So Dr. Wee will start with the consent. Antibody levels of all vaccinated individuals to make sure that we are protected from the vaccine. And if not, then we need to find out when do we need to have the booster dose and what type of vaccine. You can volunteer too, Dr. Amar. Everyone can volunteer as long as you have completed your vaccination. You want to volunteer?
Actually, one added advantage of this study is that we will also be testing against Delta variant. Yes. How effective? Yes. So not only testing whether you have good antibody response after your vaccination, but how good the antibody response is to the Delta variant, which is prevalent globally now. By all means, we will give you a blood test kind of report card, actually. But we don't know yet, we have to try. I see. Well, you can give us your blood, we'll test for you. Because I suffer from